Hey guys, my name is Chris Tucker Harris. We're going to be checking out the funniest Fantasmic fails of all time. This is by Magic Party. I've been liking their content, even if it's repetitive, like how Castle Compass has. But yeah, let's check it out. I don't mind the commercials. Get the one we can.
The Fantasmic shows at the Disney parks aren't immune to having fails, and today we'll be looking at the funniest fails ever in Fantasmic. Sometimes Fantasmic can turn into a water park, specifically for Mickey Mouse, who was just trying to save the day by pulling the sword out of the stone when the water shooting up behind him was a little too close and soaked his entire body. Mickey had to stand there posing while he was getting constantly splashed by this water. You can really see the water dripping from him as he puts the sword back into the stone. Someone get him a towel. But that might not have been more awkward than this moment when the lights turned off while Mickey was still on stage. Mickey Mouse just had to stand there perfectly still because he couldn't see anything.
That's so awkward.
Finally, a stagehand came over to guide the lost mouse backstage, and they had to shoot up some water to block the audience's view from what was happening on stage. But maybe even worse is when Mickey Mouse didn't even show up at all. At the start of the Fantasmic shows, usually when the lights are put onto the middle of the stage, Mickey pops up on the floor. But this specific video shows Mickey not showing up at all when the show starts, leaving an empty stage with the spotlights on. The show continued for a few seconds before stopping, but once everything was fixed, Fantasmic tried again, and finally Mickey was there in the center of the stage. And Mickey better watch his step when going onto the Fantasmic stage, because when Mickey was trying to walk up the steps here on the Disneyland stage, he tripped over the last step.
He pulled a Joe Biden
and fell forward. Yikes! Luckily, Mickey was able to get up and didn't seem to have to rush anything because he timed the pyrotechnic finger effect perfectly still. But an even closer call was when Mickey Mouse was walking up to do the finger sparklers when he fell, and it looked like he did the splits. And this was mere seconds away from when sparklers come out of his fingers. But he was able to get himself up, and almost immediately the pyrotechnic finger effect occurred. Whew! Close call, Mickey. And Moana is no stranger.
Because if that pyrotechnic goes off, that's a burnt mouse.
To falling over either, because when she was going up the steps at the front of the Disney World stage in 2023, she tripped on one of them and fell over. That surely wouldn't have happened if the
they shouldn't put steps there.
Steps were made with water. And this clumsy eel that was in the Fantasmic water and actually...
That's a really cool animatronic.
Into a speaker on the stage. Ursula's eels better get it together and stop embarrassing her as soon as that eel finally gets detached from that speaker, of course. And a scary situation happened when two princess barges bumped into each other, knocking over Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And it looked like the barges actually got stuck in place after that, since the bumps stopped their motion. And it actually looked like Ariel stopped to stare at what was just happening for a few seconds, even though
Ariel's like, what?
Though she was supposed to be singing at that moment. And when the new Fantasmic debuted, Jack Sparrow was caught losing his weave while he slid down the rope on top of the pirate ship. As Jack slid down, you can see his hair stick to the rope and stay there. Luckily, this ship was about to be out of sight of the audience in a few seconds, so they got lucky with that timing.
You, just you, building your app on base 44.
And even the audience can have fails, like this audience member who was caught trying to film the Fantasmic show, except he never pressed record. The filmer zoomed in on their phone to show the record button wasn't on. Let's hope that they are a local there and didn't just mess up their vacation videos. And sometimes being in the audience can be kind of dangerous, because in this video, you can see a fireworks spray right into the crowd. You can hear the filmer's reaction to this as well.
Oh my God!
This obviously usually doesn't happen, so it was a pretty scary moment. Luckily,
look at that fire, dude.
Injuries were reported that night. And this video is so insane, it's hard to tell what's going on. Fireworks were lighting up everywhere in this video from 1992, and apparently the fireworks...
They had the same show in 1992?
weren't supposed to be going at that point in Fantasmic, and the finale had already finished, but they just kept going off. Somebody get control of those fireworks. In 2009, this video caught the Pinocchio characters not dancing like they usually do. They were just standing there in place. Pinocchio usually waves his arm back and forth, but here he was just frozen still. I guess he just got stage fright. Sometimes a dragon can malfunction after the scene is finished, and it can get stuck on the stage in front of the entire audience. You can see in this video from the Steamboat Willie finale, the dragon is sitting on the stage behind the boat. But if you blink, you might miss it because the lifeless dragon was quickly covered by water shooting up while Mickey Mouse did the final firework finale. It appeared as if the dragon was fixed during the finale, though, because you can see the dragon start moving mid-finale when the camera panned to it. And there's even an alternative scene for the final boat scene. This video shows what happens when the boat doesn't work for whatever reason. The alternative is the characters come out onto the main stage and do a choreographed dance there. And that just doesn't happen at Disney World Fantasmic, because the same thing happens at Disneyland Fantasmic. It looks pretty similar, just the stage isn't as big. And something strange that was caught on camera one time during one of these alternative finales was when the princesses and the prince were the only ones that came out for the finale. That could possibly be due to a short-staffed day, but definitely a strange sight to see. But this time, Mickey Mouse probably wished he wasn't on top of the stage.
I've seen that one too before.
He was doing the final fireworks scene in this clip. His head fell right off. Luckily,
They need to bring that suit back. That's nostalgic. From his Fantasia. That's a nostalgic suit.
He caught his head before it went falling all the way down the mountain, but it took him a while to get it back on, which probably drew a lot of attention to him while he was struggling to get his head all the way on. Usually Mickey Mouse has water shooting out during his performance. Well, sometimes even the water doesn't work, and Mickey is left doing a dance with no water. You'll never realize how awkward Fantasmic is without the water until you see Fantasmic without the water. All eyes are on Mickey Mouse as he dances by himself on stage with absolutely no other distractions. Mickey was definitely hoping he would get off that stage quick. But Mickey actually did get off the stage here when there was a heavy rain during a Fantasmic performance, and the show was canceled while the show...
Florida weather. It's either pouring rain or it's storming Norman.
Was going on in 2017. Mickey did his regular intro, but once the show started moving into the water projections, the stage went dark and the loudspeaker came on to tell...
I mean it. There's a fail. I meant it's either hot as hell or it's storming Norman. I said storming Norman or it's raining.
The unfortunate news to the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Gee.
Due to unforeseen circumstances, this performance of Fantasmic has been stopped. We hope to continue the show if circumstances permit.
Or maybe it was good news, because I'm sure a lot of people didn't want to be there in the rain, and now they don't have a reason to be there. A similar situation happened in 2023, but this time you can see people already leaving the theater before the show is even canceled. After Elsa sang her song, the speaker came on to tell everyone that the show had to be canceled.
This performance of Fantasmic has been stopped.
But it seems like most people were already getting out of their seats even before this. Performers were probably pretty happy about this too. Aladdin has had a few fails in his history in Fantasmic since he was added in 2022. Mainly...
Oh my, that looks like it hurt.
When he swings from one end of the stage to the other by a rope. In this video, he's...
I don't mean to laugh, but like, that man hit the...
swings and doesn't quite make it to the other side. It looks like he swung too high and wasn't able to reach the steps. Another time this happened was in October 2023 when Aladdin did the rope swing, but this time instead of not making it, he did make it, but only by a thread. He landed on the very last step and was able to grab on at the last second. And for the next part where he sings, he was still making it up to his regular spot when he had to start singing. Close call for Aladdin. And in the old version of Fantasmic, John Smith was the one who did the rope swing and even has a video of him missing the steps on the other side of the stage. It looks like he would make it there, but just as he was about to reach for the next step, he pushed against the stage and he went falling down to the other side of the stage. And unlike Aladdin, there is still a light.
I need to see that full show. We should watch that with you guys.
on the scene after this, so John Smith was still in view of the audience. This clip is harder to see, but you can see Donald Duck tripping as he turned the corner of the Steamboat Willie boat during the finale. There were still characters behind him, though, and Geppetto stopped to help the poor duck as he was sitting on the ground. It's hard to tell what exactly happened since the video starts right when Donald Duck is falling, but Donald could have possibly hit one of the boat's second floor supports. And
I wonder if they're going to show the clip on the boat where Dopey takes a tumble.
one fail you all probably expected on this
I've
list
seen
is
this
the
one, too.
Disneyland Dragon burning in April 2023. During one of the finales in Disneyland's Fantasmic, Murphy the Fantasmic Dragon had a leak of some sort of liquid which caused him to light on fire.
This was all over the news. This one right here.
Fire in front of the entire audience, and Murphy did not survive, unfortunately. But there was an effort to save him. As you can see in this video, there were firefighters entering the backstage of Fantasmic to try and put out the Fantasmic fire. The fire was eventually put out, but unfortunately, Murphy hasn't been seen since. And another popular Fantasmic fail is the time when Dopey fell off the second floor of the Steamboat Willie boat. He was walking to the next position.
He is lucky he fell on Goofy. Because if he didn't fall on the Goofy, he's taking a tumble in the water.
When his leg extended towards the railing and he slipped right underneath the second floor railing. Luckily, Goofy was standing underneath to break his fall, although it doesn't appear Goofy meant to do that. All the performers were said to be okay after this incident, and it was probably all thanks to Goofy standing there. And that'll do it for this Magic Party video.
Right.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
Well, I think we should watch the Fantasmic show. But that was a fun video. I think that was definitely a fun video. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.